Today we have Michael Adkins with us. Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm good.
Okay, so I'm going to start with my first question. I know that you're an actor, a singer, musician, and arranger from your Instagram, which is Michael Adkins. I am Michael Adkins.
Yep.
So I would like to know, how do you balance doing everything?
Um, it's not as easy as it sounds. Um, well, for one, acting is my main focus. So currently through like pandemic, it's mainly just like a bunch of self tapes. So I kind of have a little more time to focus on music than I normally would, only because everything is at home. So I can go to the studio, I can have time to, arrange and then also too, I have a home set up so I can arrange, create, and do whatever I want from here. So it's hard, kind of using
Yeah.
time management, but it's easy at the same time. So yeah, technology, honestly.
So I know you just said you go to the studio. Do you have your own home studio as well, or you just go to someone else's?
So I do both. I have a like a home little setup. I have a mic. I have interface. Like I use GarageBand, just like super simple.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I do have a studio that I go to here in LA. And yeah, I'm like joining this writing team, so I kind of have access to a bunch of cool little opportunities and plugs and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. What is your range as far as vocals?
Are you talking about like the notes? Oh
Well,
Lord, I haven't done
you
this in
don't
a
have
minute.
to
I don't
say the
know.
actual notes. Like, are you a contralto or just the
Well,
alto, soprano?
I am a I can do it all. So I literally am blessed with the falsetto. Um, I don't know how high I can go, but on a good day, I can go really high. I don't know. But yeah, I pretty much can do all of them. So when I'm arranging, I'll do my own like soprano, alto, tenor. And then it depends on like what type of music I'm doing. If I'm doing choral music or if I'm teaching like SATB or something
So, what type of
like
music, what
that.
type of
That's
genre of
cool.
music do
Yeah.
you prefer singing the most?
Uh,
Or do you just like all
so
type of genres?
I love all types of genres. I'm a songwriter, so literally I write anything. I can write a country song. I just wrote like a funk song, so I can write anything. But my preference is R&B and gospel. Um, I'm a church boy. My mom's a preacher, so gospel will always hold roots to me. But I'm an R&B artist, and I prefer to do
Nice.
R&B. Yeah.
Okay. So I also saw that you've been a part of commercials.
Yeah.
So did you get into voiceover work? Like, are you a voiceover artist or no?
So not quite. I'm not gonna say not quite. I've done voiceover auditions. I've never booked any voiceover work yet. Um, I can't even say that. I actually recently just did Dreamgirls on Clubhouse, which was an audio only adaptation of the full
Oh
entire
yeah.
production.
I did
So
see that.
that
How was it?
was yeah, that was amazing. I got a lot of great support from that. We had write ups in Essence, Broadway Magazine, Broadway World, all the top publications, ABC. Yeah, it was a lot of great traction. But as far as like commercial work, no, I haven't done any voiceover per se. But when I did a commercial, I was in a lottery commercial where I had to sing and dance, and it was cool. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was actually like we had to really tape that, and I filmed that in Milwaukee last year, the year before. I think it was last year.
Was it really rushed? Because I hear that when you do like commercials and stuff, like time is money.
I mean, time is money in any production, film, TV, music, but no, it wasn't rushed. I was there for 3 days, and literally every single day we were working. The first day we got there, we did our fittings. Then we had rehearsal. That was like 8 hours. Went back to the hotel. Went out with the guys at night. The next morning had a 7 o'clock call. Um, we did the first so something like that. Like it was a really huge commercial. It was national. So uh, it was like we had to do multiple types. So we had to do a version for social media, which was shortened not as many dance moves, and then we had to do the longer cut, which was a minute, or a minute and 30 or something like that for commercial TV, however long it was. Um, yeah, so we had to do it like so. The first day was just like rehearsals and stuff. Second day was the social media version, and then the third day was um, the longer version.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay. I was gonna ask, do you write your own music? But you already told me that.
absolutely. Yeah, I have writing partners. Yeah, but as far as like I have an upcoming single coming, I mean an upcoming EP coming out. I'm the only writer. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I may have some other arrangers. Uh, 2 out of 5 songs are done, so um, no more touching that those two. But the other three, I think I'm going to open myself up to other arrangers. But no, I'm writing on my own material. Absolutely.
What about music production? Do you create your own beats as well?
Not quite. So I kind of all of my music, if I'm doing something for me, I usually already have an idea, or either I have multiple ways I write. So it's either one way is as crazy as this sounds, I go to Voicey and I'll literally create like a hook or something like from a track already made, and it's only like 20 seconds or so, and then I'll send it to one of my producers and be like, "Hey, can you do this? Can you like make this? This is just a hook. I need you to make it longer, change the vibe a little bit so we don't get copyright
Okay.
infringement. But this is kind of like this is like the base, and then build on it. So this is how the verse gonna sound. This is how to whatever, whatever, and then I'll sing different parts or different medleys that I want them to play or incorporate or either like a dynamic like one of the songs I have on my EP is really dynamic heavy. So like I have to sing it to them to understand it. I mean, I could
Right.
chart it but I'm not doing all that. So yeah, I literally just sing it to them and try to explain as best as I can. But then as far as like the other way, if I'm writing to a track, um, what was the original? You said was it easy or something like that?
Wait, you said what?
The original question. What was the
Oh,
original question?
um,
Because I said there's 2 ways that I write, but I didn't know exactly.
I think I was asking, do you
You forgot.
produce? Do you produce beats?
Oh yeah, do I produce? Right. So that's why I went there. Okay, so yeah, as far as my music, I'll sing it to my producers. As far as like other people's music, no, I do not produce. Now I can do drums, I can do drum production, but I can't do any
Okay.
like music production. I don't play keyboard or anything like that. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you love doing the most? Is it acting, singing, arranging, or just all together?
um, I would probably say acting. It's so fun for me. Music is a passion though, so I would have to probably say like I don't want to say 50-50. I would rather say like 60-40 acting, singing. But I enjoy the full process of music. So I'm gonna just stick with 60-40. But I mean, I love them both equally, like I said. But acting is like that's my life. That's my love. It's fun for me. Yeah.
Okay. I understand that you've been cast on Empire to The Shy, playing several
hmm
roles. When acting and singing, how do you separate your personality from the character?
Um, it depends on what the role is. Some roles it's super different for me. Like I like on the Shy, I play like this super hood guy. That's not me. Um, I've been raised in the hood. I've seen those type of people, but that's not me. Um, uh, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of it's that's the beauty of acting, in my opinion. That's one of the reasons why I love it because everyone always asks like, why do you love acting? Well, I love embodying another character, and then when they say cut, I switch back to me. Or I love roles where you have to have an accent and you can switch back to American, like stuff like little stuff like that. So that's how I can separate myself from the character, just enjoying the process of taking on a whole another personality. It's fun. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Okay. How did how did you find the right network of people to help you reach your goals, whether it was from being at Columbia or being a part of the different projects you've worked on?
Uh-oh, you just chopped up. You said whether it be at Columbia and
Oh, I'm sorry. I said how did you find the right network of people to help you reach your goals, whether it was a connection of people from Columbia or through the different projects you've worked on?
a little bit of both, or a little, yeah, a little both. No type of industry. It's all about networking. So, of course, every opportunity I get, every gig, every commercial, every TV show, every sing gig, I try to build many. Um, because you never know where people will be down the line. You never know where you'll be down the line. You never know if they're piece of the you have from previous gigs and situations that you've done. Um, yeah, really, I was
Restarting. Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
yeah, I can't. Yeah, it's like chopping up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Do you mind re-saying what you just said?
Yeah, you just gotta re-ask it.
Okay. Well, before actually I asked that, I wanted to know what was your degree that you received at Columbia?
Funny thing is, I did not graduate from Columbia. I stopped going my senior year
Oh,
because I booked a project outside of school that took away time. So
I think you did say
uh,
that because you
uh,
you did a speech at Columbia and I was there. And I think you was telling us like you got a project and it took a lot out of you to do that project. Yeah, I think I remember
yeah,
you saying that.
yeah, I remember what you're talking about. Yep.
Um,
Yeah. So I mean, funny thing about Columbia is a lot of people, you either come there and you graduate and then you go, do what you love, or either a lot of people just stop going because they booked something. And I was one of the lucky ones. Even though I am gonna go back and finish, I only have like a few more credits left.
yeah.
So it's not hard for me to get, but when I can get some free time, yeah, I'm gonna definitely tackle that for sure.
Well, what was your major? Like what was you going for?
So originally I was audio design and production, ADP, and then I switched over to music business.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what made you decide to switch?
Um, the classes that I had to take. I loved audio design and production, and I wanted to be a producer, engineer, but well, long as well as a musician. But there was a class called audio theory, and it was just entirely too hard, and I had no interest in it. I don't really like science. It was a science heavy class, and it was like the only non hands on um, class in that major. So I was just like, oh, you know what? After I failed it twice, I said this isn't for me, and I went right over to
Okay.
music business. Yep.
Okay. So the previous question that I had asked was how did you find the right network of people to help you reach your goals?
Okay. Well, I flipped the answer instead this time. So I have a really tight friend group. When I moved to Chicago for Columbia, I was blessed with two of my best friends, and we're super close. And then we kind of just us going as we are, we just kind of linked on to like we all became just like a tribe. We were all like minded. We kind of just all traveled on the same frequency. It was just like a great time. We were all just as hungry for our separate, passions and career fields. So yeah, we kind of motivated each other, and that made a really, really big impact. Just the group chat alone, just the motivation, and then uh, also too, you asked like as far as like, do I make connections like when I work?
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is a who type of network or a type of industry. So you have to try to make as many relationships and connections when you do your gigs and when whether it's TV, film, um, even just BGV singing or lead singing, it just doesn't matter. You just want to try to make as many genuine connections as possible. Nothing fake, nothing forced. Try to make it as genuine as possible. And if it's not if it's not genuine and if it's not natural, it's not meant to be at that time. You know?
Okay. Is there any inspiring or positive advice you would like to give young artists?
Never stop. um, you know, people ask me, how did you know like you wanted to be an actor or a singer? I mean, I kind of didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a passion for a bunch of things and I knew it was possible to do everything.
Right.
Um, and I just didn't let anyone tell me no. You know, I didn't let anyone. And then thank God I had a super, super supportive mother. And she kind of allowed me to tour at the age of 12 to Norway. She really allowed me to live what I love even before Colombia, because that's Colombia's motto for those who don't know. But yeah, so it was just a blessing. I had a really good system growing up, and my mom used to sing when she was growing up professionally. So she used to do background. So she saw the spark in me. She knew I had a gift, and she allowed me to just nurture it. And now I'm doing what I love, and I live in LA, which is one of the biggest goals that was on my list. So
That's
I'm here and I'm doing
awesome.
it.
Okay. So, how do you stay humble as an artist and continue to stay grounded, like as who you are as a person?
Um, my friends and my family, my support system, and um, everybody around me is completely genuine and humble. I don't have anyone who is, haughty or anything like that. So it kind of you are like your circle. You are who you hang around. So,
Right.
if you're around positivity and peace and genuine happiness and joy, I think that'll resonate between, the whole entire circle. And also too, like I'm blessed to know people who are way more known or famous than me and I can call them friends. And so it's always a humbling experience to know that there are people on the next level. And it's more so like I don't really like look down on people who are below because I don't really put myself on any type of pedestal in the first place. Like
Right.
I think I'm just still growing. I don't think I'm better than anyone. I don't look at myself and say, "Oh, I'm this, I'm that," because I've done this. I don't really look at um, my resume and allow that to dictate my personality. Half the time, I don't even like talking about myself. So that's just I don't know. It's just me. Like I'm not that type of guy. Like I'm super chill. Um and yeah, I
Yeah,
really
I
live in a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I live in a moment and
yeah.
you know, so
I really feel like it's hard to find a lot of artists like that. So just keep being that way.
yeah, for sure.
um oh, when accepting roles, what do you look for in contracts, etc., before you decide to take on the project you will be a part of? Because like, well, I guess I can explain a little bit more. Um, well, you know the actor Chadwick Boseman that passed away, and he was like he turned down some roles that he didn't want to play because they weren't roles that he would want to. I don't know, like he didn't want to play stereotypical like
Yeah.
black. I don't want to say ghetto, but do you know what
No,
I'm
no,
trying to
definitely,
say?
definitely. Listen, go for it. I understand.
Yeah. So how do you how do you decide what project is right for you and what's not? What to walk away from? and what to accept?
Well, that's kind of it's easy in a sense because I have a standard, and I feel like just like Chadwick, we all have standards. We know what we'll do and what we don't want to do. And then there are two different types of artists: artists who are just hungry and will do anything for money, and then artists who do it for passion with integrity, who will is not moved by necessarily the dollar per se. And I
Right.
fall under the second category. I don't. There's no dollar amount that can make me do anything I'm uncomfortable with. And so I agree with Chadwick. I've too turned down a few. Matter of fact, literally last week, I had two auditions that I turned down for something that I told my agent I did not want to do in the first place. Um, and so, yeah, I mean, again, it does not matter about the dollar. I have a brand that I have to, keep intact, and
Right.
I have morals, and I have just certain things like, even though it's acting, Michael is still playing that role. And at the end of the day, when it comes to the credits, when it comes to the reviews, they're not critiquing the character. I mean, they're critiquing me as the character. So no, I just choose not to put myself in any compromising situation that make me uncomfortable. And also too, you know, in this industry, a lot of times you'll be trying to persuade, or you'll people will try to persuade you to step out your comfort zone and do things super erotic because it's what's in and it's going to get you to the next level. Nah, I believe
Right.
what God got for me. I believe what God got for me is for me. You know what I'm saying? And He knows that I'm not doing certain stuff, and I just refuse to compromise. Um, yeah, and I believe I'll be rewarded at the end of the day because even if it takes me a little longer to get that super, super big role, I'll just keep waiting. I'll keep trying, keep doing whatever I got to do, you know?
Yeah. So, does it ever get a little bit frustrating or hard, like having to turn down those roles? And do you have anything to maybe say to younger artists, like any encouragement to keep them grounded?
Yeah. Um, what door God closes, it's meant, And so don't don't look at the gigs that you don't get and say, oh man, I could have did. No, you look at it and say, oh, this next gig is coming up. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. You know what I'm saying? And so keep your eyes on the prize and never look back. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about the things that you don't get, or if you feel like you have to turn something down because it makes you uncomfortable, stand deeply rooted in who you are and know that you're doing it for a reason. Otherwise you would have took the audition. Otherwise you would have did it in the first place. So don't argue with yourself and try to, hey, I don't know, maybe I should do that. If it makes you uncomfortable, don't do it. It's not meant to be done. This is an industry where there's all types of things that's going on, and a lot of things will not make you uncomfortable. You have to be um unmovable, like in who you are. Like you have to hold your ground. Otherwise, this industry will change you. And so if you know who you are and know that you have a gift that God has given you, and you know it's just a matter of time, keep pushing through, keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about those things you got to turn down. And then plus two, you probably won't have to turn down too much. It's not as common that I get types of roles that I don't want to do, just for the simple fact that when you get an agency, you do let them know like this is what I'm not doing off top. Um, some slip through the crack, but pretty much you just tell them like, "Yo, I'm not doing this," and they'll be like, "Okay, cool." And so, yeah, but even if you have to, even if it's a singing gig, if it's whatever the case may be, if you're not ready, if you're uncomfortable, don't do it and don't feel no type of way. The next one is coming.
Thank you. Okay. Do you have an agent that helps you to get gigs?
Yes, I have two.
Okay. How does the agency process work? Like, do you have to pay them or
No.
um
Oh well, I don't pay them. Okay, so the only time they get paid is when I get work. So, say if my agent sends me an audition, I book the audition, I get X amount of dollars, they get 10% of that and my
okay.
residual. So when I get residuals, they get 10% of that. Some agencies don't take 10%. It just depends on your contract. And my one of my agencies take 10% of my residuals, the other one doesn't. So it's just like just depends on your contract. Um, yeah. But no, you do not pay to audition. You don't pay to do anything. When I first started, I got swindled because I tried to do an agency that I would not name, even though I probably should, but I would not name. And they basically tried. We auditioned, and they say, okay, you gotta pay for this, and that, and then we'll do this, and that for you. That's not how it works. You audition for an agency if they think you're what the industry is looking for. They'll send you auditions that fit you. You send the self tape. You go and audition, whatever the case may be, and that's that. You don't. They only get paid off for what you make that they found for you. If you find your own work, they don't make nothing from you. So you know.
So since we have like COVID and everything,
Mm-hmm.
how are they handling auditions for things like that?
Self tapes. I do everything from the house.
Okay.
I have a ring light, you know, a microphone, a little clip microphone. I learn my audition, and I have someone here who usually reads with me, and then I literally act on camera, and that's that. And if there's an audition, a callback, it'll be on live Zoom with the casting director. Um, and then if you book it, then you got to take like COVID test, 14 days of quarantine wherever they're shooting. You got to fly out, stay quarantined, then you stay on set. Once you're done, you come back. Mm-hmm.
So, dang, I forgot what I was about to ask. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else that you wanted to share?
Um, I have an EP coming out that's untitled. I haven't named it yet, but be on the lookout. Should be out in the next few months. And follow me at I am Michael Adkins. I am MICHAELADKINS. Um, yeah.
Oh, do you have anything else besides Instagram, a website, a Facebook where your fans can reach you?
Yeah, I have a Twitter. I have a website that's not up right now, so I'm not even going to put it out there.
Okay.
And then I have a Facebook, but Facebook is more so for my family. I don't have a Facebook fan page, even though I'll add anybody. I'm pretty much close to like my max, I think. I don't know, but if you find me on Facebook, sure. Uh,
Okay.
Twitter, yeah, Twitter you can find it. I don't really use Twitter like that, so I mean those things. If you look for it, you can find it if you really wanted it. But Instagram is pretty much what I'll put out. Yeah.
Okay. And this will be the last question. I remember what I was going to ask. So, when you are doing performances now, are those through Zoom too? Since
No,
it's
nope.
those are still
It
in
depends.
person,
Yeah. So pretty much everything in out of you're in Chicago, so I
right?
know a lot of things. Y'all have been open way longer than us. LA, we just started opening, and I've been gigging through the quarantine. Like the churches that I sing and play at, they're pretty much open, but they're at like a super, super small capacity. And then the rest of it is like Zoomed. So we're actually in the service. We're in the sanctuary playing, singing, doing all of the above, preaching. And the only people who
Oh,
are there are the people participating in the service. Other than that, you're not in the same. No one's in the sanctuary. It's just being filmed with a film crew and a whole bunch of, So everything has pretty much been moved to tech. So as far as like me being home playing drums or singing in my living room, no, not quite. But as far as like everything being videotaped in a secure location that's COVID friendly or COVID free, yes,
okay. Well, thank you for being a part of my podcast. I am
absolutely.
very grateful for this. And
I
yeah.
wish you the best of luck, and I'm glad. Was I your first interview or no?
No, you wasn't.
Okay,
You was
dope,
my
dope.
second, but
Okay, cool. Congrats. Keep going. Never
thank
stop.
thank you. Okay. Well,
All right.
bye.
See you later.